What's good, everyone? Night H here. Welcome to mission number 7. This mission is the Convoy mission. And in this mission, Colonist Talia has arrived at the Flesh Terror's forward command base. And here you see the 4th Company Battle Captain, Castigan of the Flesh Terror's Armored Company, and you see the Chief Chaplain Carnarvon here with Colonist Talia. And what has happened is Talia has arrived at the forward command base to come and have a conversation with the captain. And she brings the captain news that reserves will be arriving, and the convoy headed by the General Ironhive of the 157th Hell on Wheels Brigade is coming to supply the forward command base with artillery, with ordnance. The goal of the loyalists here is to ensure that the convoy arrives safe. So their job is to accompany the convoy here to the command center. So this is what the command center looks like, so that you guys can see. It's the forward command center. Okay, and over here on the side, Lord Dinathor the Black is here in the city, and he's brought his cult with him. A little information about Dinathor the Black: he is the emissary of the Chosen of Angron, and he is responsible for all dealings with cults. And here you see Sergio, who is coming over to the High Lord to explain to him that the monolith has been raised and is ready. Dinathor has set up an ambush. This is what the city looks like. The monolith is here. And here is the convoy. So the artillery that will be arriving, 2 basilisks, being supported by 3 units of Imperial Guard, led by the command tank. This convoy has to come down this road. It has to turn and go up the street. And in the end, it has to turn and travel into the command base. The loyalist job is to facilitate that happening. Okay? So, I'll be returning with the story, with the narrative real quick, and then we'll start deployment in turn 1. Alright, at the end of turn 1, the convoy came up. The convoy is entering the city. The coin unit tried to move in and use a melter bomb, but failed to cause any damage this turn. The 2 tanks actually fired, killing 1 guardsman. And the Traitor Guard over here all fired on this unit, on Squad Archiville. And Tactical Squad Archiville also fired back, but nobody was killed. The Sisters unit here fired, killing 1 guardsman who fell off of the balcony. And this guard actually fired back but caused no damage. And around here, Chaplain Cairo and his Death Company squad all jumped out. They're moving towards the buildings. The Death Company Dreadnought and his fleet, with his fleet move, races towards the building, along with Captain Castigan, the Terminators, and the Chief Chaplain Carnarvon and his Death Company, all running up to try and aid the convoy. The mutants, 2 mutants was killed to shooting from the Terminators. The mutants then returned fire at the Death Company, causing 4 wounds, but none of the Death Company was hurt. Beginning of turn 2. And at the end of turn 2, Dinathor the Black is orchestrating a clinic on the loyalists. Terminators arrived from the warp portal. They poured in and destroyed the Demolisher tank. More berserkers have emerged from the portal, from the Great Monolith. Dinathor, using his melta-gun over on the side, fired at the Death Company Dread, but did nothing. And the Traitor Guard over here all fired on the Death Company, did nothing, but the Death Company made short work of the mutants here. And the Chimeras over here killed 2 berserkers, but the berserker champion killed himself with his plasma pistol. And over here, bodies are everywhere as Tactical Squad Archival that you see over here fired and killed more Traitor Guard. And on the far side of the table, the Lord Dinathor and his mutants are all taking shots at the Death Company Dread, but their shots just bouncing off of his armor. The Chief Chaplain Convoy and his Death Company, along with Captain Cassian over here, his forces are now moving up because they have a problem. There is wreckage in the middle of the street, and a great tactic used by Dinathor's forces to assault the command tank and cause a bottleneck. Now the tanks are going to have to use their artillery shells to try and destroy one of the buildings, to try and make a way to the command center. Bad news for the loyalists. And that was the end of turn 3. And what an apocalyptic turn it was. So the loyalists, led by 4th Company Captain Castigan, are trying to defend, trying to facilitate the arrival of the artillery convoy. And Lord Dinathor the Black has orchestrated a clinic here of epic proportions. Cannot wait to let you guys see what has happened. So we're here at the forward command base. And as you can see, the forward command base is empty. I mean, other than the loyalists kind of waiting. But what is happening here is look at the carnage, guys. Look at the carnage. So the Death Company Dreadnought came up. He assaulted the remaining mutants, made very quick work of them, overran them, and is moving towards Lord Dinathor here. During Dinathor's turn, more of his Traitor Marines have arrived. As the Death Company moved in to try to provide some support, they went right through this Berserker squad. And I mean, they butchered the Berserker squad, but it was all for nothing as Lord Dinathor and the Lord Hrothgar activated the Khorne monolith with the lantern power that they have secured and called in more reinforcements. And the Berserkers arrived and they absolutely butchered the Death Company, leaving Chaplain Cairo with 1 wound and the rest of his unit destroyed altogether. The traitors, the Traitor Guardsmen here lended in their fire, and the casualties just got more and more intense as more of Dinathor's forces and his Terminators arrived, and they destroyed 2 of the Chimeras, causing them to explode. But then in response, the Guardsmen got out of their transport and they moved up here, led by Captain Mike. They moved out, rapid fired everything that they had with the heavy flamer, and the commissar here with the flamer, and they absolutely just destroyed this Berserker squad here, but it was all for nothing as the Terminators and the combined power of the Traitor forces destroyed the command tank, exploded two of the Chimeras, and the two artillery pieces that needs to make it all the way up this street and around the corner to the command base is now bogged down with no way to go. So General Ironhive that you see here, he and his veteran squad went in with a demolition charge trying to destroy the Rock Creek wall here to make a way for the transport to get into the forward base. But as they did, it only broke the wall partially and was unable to completely destroy it in this last turn. And I'm afraid that if General Ironhive doesn't hurry up and destroy this wall, it's going to be trouble, because the Terminators, led by one of Hrothgar's chosen champions, is on their way. And once they reach, it's going to be bad news for the loyalists. Right now, chaos is having their way.